So, in our short stories, we don't do any research on these cigars before we smoke them. So, we're just going to come up with stories about where we think they come from and what they're filled with. So, the Nub Cameroon comes from a small district in Cameroon that they have odd weather, so they're only able to grow tobacco from like May to June. So you get very small leaves to make these nubs. These are made from extremely small tobacco leaves.
So,
And that's
so we're
how
not going to guess while we're smoking it. We're just going to like eyeball it, right? Is that what the new plan?
I like this plan.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we're just going to eyeball it, and the leaf of this small tobacco plant is definitely habanero. Yep, it's definitely habanero leaf. I can tell just by the smell and by the look of it and the taste.
Does it make your eyes water a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's habanero. Sorry.
Inside
is it made with habaneros?
No, not made with
habaneros. Is it just
habaneros.
packed full of habaneros?
Habaneros.
That would be amazing. Also, maybe not.
And then the innard is definitely Nicaraguan. I could tell before I even light it up.
All right.
What about you, Andy?
Being this is the Chupacabra, as it says on the band, right there, Chupacabra. We're gonna go with this is nothing but a sacrifice to the Chupacabra, and is loaded with goat's meat or goat's blood, and it's Maduro, so it's dark and mysterious as the Chupacabra was. So
So
we're
it's
gonna go with
dried goat's blood.
I was going to say, I think it's a common practice to soak leaves in goat's blood and then ferment them. I think that's a pretty normal thing to do. Maybe you do that at home. I'm not sure.
Not this week.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
You haven't been here, Gibbs. You wouldn't know. Zach's been here. He's not allowed to talk about the sacrifices that may or may not have been made on the back porch lounge.
It keeps the old ones from taking the land again.
Uh-huh. We keep Cthulhu happy.
Oh, Jesus. What about you, Robert?
This is a handmade Duro from Nub, and it was made. The leaves were actually found when Isabella Santos went out one night looking for her husband Carlos, who was in a drunken stupor and passed out in the field. These delicious leaves, and they decided they would try to wrap them and smoke them. And this is what I get.
I want to smoke that.
That's pretty specific.
Yeah. I mean, between the dried goat's blood and just the back, alleys of Cameroon, I'd rather smoke that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a love story and it's a good cigar story. The Illusion Rothschild, which probably is a reference to the size of the cigar, but I'm going to say that this comes from the estate of Niles Rothschild, who once was destined to be president of the United States. His campaign was pretty small. It was mostly focused in small town in Oliver Springs, Tennessee, and he was running mate Chester Lindbergher was, had an excellent background as an all-star, baseball player. But this cigar is named after that duo who ran for president one Halloween.
All right.
The tobacco says Nicaraguan, so I'm assuming it's got some of that in it.
All American story, Nicaraguan filling.
So, to continue in my first tale of this wonderful cigar, there may be a portal opening on my table, and I'm kind of concerned.
Do you hear drums in the background?
Are you sure it's not an illusion?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well played,
I've
sir.
got-
Well played. That was great.
I've got nothing for Cameroon.
Yeah, I'm out of that one.
Damn.
Right?
That's an African country, right? So I don't know much about Cameroon actually to know. I think it's West African. Maybe.
But this cigar was made there. I'm telling you, 100% the truth.
Pretty sure that's not the truth.
That's a total
That may
fallacy.
be your truth. It's not the truth.
Look, it's their only export that I'm aware of.
And since you're obviously the standard of which all is measured,
Yes.
Exactly. And I'm sorry,
all-knowing
Cameroon, I didn't mean to
exporter.
insult your entire country. I'm pretty sure you have more than just a cigar. You probably have lovely sandy beaches. Maybe.
Well, you just keep digging that hole. Go ahead.
I don't know.
The whole country of Cameroon is coming after us.
I'm showing
That's
my
okay.
American
I'm
ignorance
going
at
to
this
go
moment.
with this is made in Puerto Rico because, that's where the whole Chupacabra thing kind of falls back to.
I thought that was a Mexico thing.
I'm about to say that's a Mexico thing too.
Yeah.
I had to look up some lore. Puerto Rico's in it, and I kind of want to go to Puerto Rico, so that works.
So, are you going to go hunt the Chupacabra?
Ooh, we should have an expedition to hunt the Chupacabra.
I'm going to hunt
We
that about
all-
the same time I start hunting snipes.
Well, we'll all smoke that cigar while we're hunting them. So,
That'll work.
I mean, it works for me.
It'll draw them out. It's a sacrifice, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was supposed to be goats. Again.
If it's got goat blood in it, I guess it'll work.
Maybe just get some goat blood and you just put it on a little bit of cologne and just start running into the desert.
I'm all for it.
Come and get me, you goat sucker! Speaking of goat suckers, there was an entire episode of X-Files dedicated to the Chupacabra.
There was.
I vaguely
fact.
remember that.
I don't remember if the smoking man was in that one, though.
No.
No, I think it was a Monster of the Week.
Ah.
Yeah.
Robert's familiar with the Monster of the Week for X-Files.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Huge fan of
X-Files.
X-Files. Huge fan.
Ah.
Yeah, he went to conventions and everything about it.
I actually won
That's
an
cool.
IBM computer from one of them.
Fancy.
Nice.
Full of FBI files for some reason.
Topic of discussion in the short story, other than I can make it more about the Niles Rothschild, Chester Lindbergher excerpts.
I mean, I was more interested in hearing about that.
Oh, okay. Well, there's kind of a bootstrap campaign. They, went door to door, trying to collect votes and subsequently candy, because it was Halloween. And they got an entire neighborhood on board that was a pretty big deal. Unfortunately, due to COVID, they did not actually run in 2020, which was when they had planned to back in. I'd have to do some math on that. I'm gonna give a calculator because that.
You got to carry the 1, divide by pi, and square the root of 2. Wait for it.
I do know.
It's an Android
I-
ca-
while-
it's an
while
Android
you're, while you're
calculator.
doing that, for the Cameroon, with the smaller leaves, they have to be handled by Oompa Loompas. And Oompa Loompas are a real thing in Cameroon.
I always
Evidently,
wondered
that's
about
the
that.
only place. That's the only place you can have an Oompa Loompa is in Cameroon.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's the only place they grow because they're not born; they're grown, right along with
Oh.
the little tobacco. So since you have your tobacco field and you have your Oompa Loompa field, and once they fall off the vine, they immediately go get the little tobacco and start rolling just by natural. It's just nature. It
Instinct.
happens. Yes, and then many years later, somebody writes a book about them and changes it to chocolate. What the fuck is that shit?
Mm.
And
That's the
they ruin
media
fucking
trying
history.
to push their agenda.
That's it. They're trying to push their agenda. The big sugar corporations trying to inject themselves. Big sugar getting into our brains that way. It's like, oh, let's make this little Cameroon guy that's grown on the vine go find cocoa beans. No, it was fucking tobacco. And you tobacco lobbyists are like, hey, tobacco's bad. Ugh.
Sugar's worse.
Ruined my entire freaking day.
Man. So I'm guessing that was circa like 1998 or 9 that they went on their campaign. This is really a joke for 4 people.
Doing so well.
It's a few more than 4 people, but like 4.
The entire, state of Tennessee is laughing their ass off right now.
No, pretty much. My parents, like maybe my friend Jeremy, his mom would think it was funny. His dad would think it was funny. Probably my sisters. Yeah.
Well, as long as we're all watching the podcast.
So, Robert, let me ask you a question about yours. So, is it like a family affair for, where they making the sweet love in the fields, and then they had children, and then they put them work in the tobacco, factories, so they could save money to get these things rolled?
No, they actually had to hire people. You should have been around to give them that idea.
Well, son of a bitch. I mean, I thought they were already getting a good start. Just get the kids.
However, Tatiana did come from that particular night. The daughter.
Oh.
Tatiana. Nice.
She uses fruit in her tobacco, right?
There you go. Allergic to tobacco leaves, by the way, because she can't touch them. Strangely enough.
But if she
Was that a
uses
groovy
a
blue
thin
choke?
layer of blueberries to coat her hand, she can roll them safely.
Blueberries, oranges, a whole cornucopia of fruit.
Well, I mean, and grapes as well, because, like when Robert got his grape Tatiana, that was hand rolled by Tatiana herself and got the grape, flavor. So let me ask you this, Andy.
Yeah.
Does the Chupacabra have any hint of like sage in it or anything like that? For cleansing, spirits or anything? I mean,
I'm not getting sage.
okay.
Do you know what burning bones smell like? You getting some of that?
A little bit of that.
Interesting. I'm intrigued.
I mean, I just saved you one, but I'm going to need a second for another sacrifice. Get you another one.
I mean, do you feel that you're calling the spirit of the Chupacabra?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. I mean,
I'm going to have to go to the store and pick up a goat later. I'm feeling thirsty.
I mean, goat meat is delicious.
Oh no, we're
That's
talking
a true
marrow.
story.
I mean, marrow would be the same, I assume. Just, a little gamier, little goatier.
Yeah. Whenever goat's on a menu, I definitely try to order that.
Heck yeah.
It's so good.
Delicious.
So how does it feel to know that someone has made love on your tobacco leaves, Robert? Every time you take a puff, somebody's private parts have been rubbed all over those.
He looks like he's losing interest now.
I'm done. Thanks for the visual again.
Hey, man,
We're just
you
painting
told
a
me the
picture.
story. I'm just going with it.
You just run with it, man.
I'm just thinking about all those poor Oompa Loompas that have to work in the tobacco fields every day. and enjoy.
So
the
are they
shit out
still
of it.
working in the tobacco leaves or tobacco fields, or are now they working for Big Sugar on
No,
like a
see,
sugar
that is a
cane
fallacy.
plant?
That is a complete fallacy. Okay,
Is
they
it?
are still in the tobacco fields where they belong.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Part of the reason they're orange. I mean, you handle enough tobacco, you just kind of turn orange.
See? Yeah.
Saying.
Well, I just inhaled an entire flame into my mouth.
How'd that feel?
It's probably about time. Put this down.
The
Do you
fire
wanna
element.
So
reveal
let
the.
me give you some real
Okay.
information on the Nub Cameroon, since I am a complete moron and just made up some bullshit. All right, so it is made in the Estella factory in Nicaragua. It is a medium. I got that right. Woohoo!
Yay!
Yay! It is the Cameroon comes in because it is a Cameroon wrapper. So I don't know what label he's under, but go check him out. I think they're pretty good. And then that's all the information that I'm seeing on this site. So this was a poor site to choose as far as telling me the actual information on this cigar. Well, that was a fail. So come
Try
back to
again.
me.
Try again.
Yeah.
Look quick. Okay, I'll go. Because mine's getting warm. Maybe I was kind of right. The Hellcat is a Mexican San Andreas wrapper. So, I mean, go Chupacabra in Mexico. And the binder and the filler were Nicaraguan, so I was way the hell off. And yeah, I totally made this shit up. So, the Robusto is a 5.5 by 54 box press.
Nice.
And yeah. They're all
Nicaraguan filler.
Sweet.
Nicaraguan filler. So I nailed that one right away.
Yep.
But again, cheating because I knew it was Nicaraguan to begin with because it's a nub.
Nice.
Tabla Claras Carreras factory.
I'm gonna need to do some more research to get that kind of detail out of mine.
How about you, Robert? Tell the truth.
Well, it's a Brazilian wrapper, dark, thick, oily Brazilian wrapper. Although this says the aftertaste is spicy with natural sweet tones, but I didn't catch that. But okay, that's all I found. It's not a very informative site. Video.
I've got some kind of mixed info on mine, depending on what side I look at. It looks like it is a Mexican San Andreas wrapper with a binder that is Nicaraguan Corojo 99, which is a popular, delicious tobacco. And the filler is Nicaraguan Aganorsa. So I'm guessing it was probably made by them, or at least the tobacco came from them, because they're a giant tobacco grower.
Yeah, they are.
Nice. No wonder you liked it.
Yeah. The first place I looked, it said it had a there it goes. It had a Ecuadorian, Connecticut, and San Andreas wrapper. So I don't know if that's part of that also. But origin Nicaragua.
Those darn Nicaraguans, man. Just making good cigars. How dare they?
Yeah, they are.
I'm very upset about it.
Totally.
Very upset.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to keep smoking them to make sure we get rid of all of them.
Right?
Yeah. Every time I have an illusion, I'm kind of reminded that I need to have more illusions. Seem to make some pretty solid stuff.
I thought every time you had an illusion, you thought you need to work on your card tricks.
Well, yeah,
Or
probably.
or
Not
need to
very
join
good
the
at this.
Illuminati. Either way. Yeah.